Okay. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good wherever it is, wherever it is they are joining us from. Thank you for joining us on the show today. My name is Benga Adebayo, and this is Living LTV live with me right here coming to you on Living LTV on YouTube. If you are joining us, wherever it is that you're joining us from all over the world, would please like to meet you. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, go right ahead and hit the subscribe button right now. And don't forget to hit the like button and to share this with your friends, to let your friends know that, yay, we are live. So let me go right ahead and do that right away and make people know that we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Yes, and we are live. And we are live. Okay, that's a typo. Correct that. Okay, posted that. We are live. Thank you for joining us. Please remember to hit the like button. And today we're going to be taking a look at something fundamental. A look at time management, making the most of your time, making the most of your time. We'll be taking a look at soft skills, the issues that affect us and get us riled up and get us worried and get us disturbed. Last time we took a look at emotional intelligence, and we're just continuing on that soft skill um, trend. Today we're taking a look at managing time management. So if you are joining in, please just go right ahead. Let us know where you are joining us from. Shoot us a like, share, comment. Let's make it as engaging as possible. So I would like to start by saying that time management, like some people will say, is a misnomer, right? Because the concept of management is that you have a resource, that resource is scarce, and so you are trying to apportion, allocate that resource so that you have the best use of that scarce resource, and that's where we have economics. That's where we have management. But is time management, like some people argue, is a misnomer because time is constant, right? It doesn't matter who you are. Once you are on the same planet, right? Once you are on the same planet, you are on the same, you are human. You are a human being. You live on the face of the earth. Then everybody has the same amount of time. It doesn't matter whether you are old, whether you are young, whether you're an European, you're an African, you're wherever it is that you are, wherever it is that you find yourself, everybody has the same amount of time. Same amount of time. 24 hours every day. Nobody has more than the other person. Nobody has less than the other person. No matter how much you love me, you cannot give me your time. Yes, welcome, Michael. No matter how much I love you, I can't say, okay, I'm dashing you 5 years out of my life, right? I can't give it to you. You may use out of mine, you may occupy my time, you may use it for what I can use to spend it with you, but I cannot donate it to you. Just like you cannot give me yours. So it's made some people to say that time management, the the word's time management is actually a misnomer. That what we should actually call it is self-management or people management or whatever else you want to call it, because time just goes. It's a juggernaut. You cannot pause it. You cannot rewind it. You cannot make it go slower. Thank God for um, our remotes and TV. Now you can pause live TV, you can rewind live TV, you can do all kinds of stuff with the live TV. But let's not confuse that with what we can do with our time. Our time continues to go. You cannot stop it. You cannot, you can't do anything about it. Even if you don't use it, it goes. No, that's it. You even if you say, I'm not going to do anything, I just want to stay. That time continues to tick, continues to go. You can't buy it back. I've wished sometimes maybe something I just wish, can I go back just 2 hours so that I can prevent? There's so much, there's so many um, science fiction um, programs now, all about our fascination with time and going back in time. But we cannot do it. We cannot go back in time. We cannot rewind time. We cannot reverse time. Whatever time is gone, it is gone. When time is gone, it is gone. So that leads to the very important um, question of how can I best manage my time, manage myself as it relates to time? What's the best approach? What can I do to make sure that I am getting the best out of my time? Because looking around, thinking a lot of the pressures and the problems that people face in life arise as a result of wrong use of their time. Wrong use of their time is what puts a lot of people under the pressures that they face, right? Someone does not do what he or she ought to do when they should do it, and then fast forward 20 years, 30 years, the person is now doesn't have the strength that they had when they were younger, and they're in trouble, right? The person is now retired. The time he should have given to his kids to spend, to play with them, he now wants a relationship, but he has not invested the time and the effort because he did not use his time. He did not apportion his time appropriately for to get the most out of his life. I want to ask you, what do you think about your time currently? Do you think you are using your time as best as you possibly can or should? Think about it. Do you think so? Do you think that if you evaluated, look at your yesterday, for instance, how did you spend yesterday? How did you spend it? What did you get out of it? What did you make out of it? Let's even look beyond yesterday. Let's take a look at last week. How productive were you? Did you get the things? What do you have a to-do list? Do you walk through that to-do list? Do you feel accomplished that, oh, the things I want to do, I'm getting them done? The things I want to accomplish, I'm accomplishing them. Even beyond the things that you want to, the things that you need to accomplish, right? Time does not expand it's because you are you are in pressure. You know, and it will expand for you. You won't get more out of it. The funny thing about time is when we now have a lot to do, time flies. I maybe experienced that. And when you have little to do, you are so bored, time seems to crawl. It just crawls, and you're wondering and saying, oh, are we there yet? My daughter does that. Says, Daddy, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Because she's bored, she's eager, and the time seems to crawl. Then when we now get there, to the playground, to the pool, to the party, and I say, okay, baby, it's time to go home. No, we just got here. Why? Time flies when we enjoy what we are doing, when we engage with what we are doing, and then it crawls. But it's just that a relative belief or feeling of time. Time uh, just flows at the same 1 second at a time, a minute, 2 days, a week, 2 years, a decade, a century, and it just goes. goes at its own pace, irrespective of what you do or what you want. What you are going to accomplish out of your life, you and I will make out of our existence, is going to be determined by how well you use our time. And there are so many tools, so many tools. You just need to go use your Google and just type time management tricks, make best use of my time. There are so many tools that can help us make good use of our time. And some of those tools are not even far away, are good, our cell phones. Our cell phones are packed, even if it's a feature phone, it doesn't mean to be a smartphone, are packed with tools now that people 200 years ago never had. If you go with, I wanted to think of a phone, it's an old phone that you never think. Let's use that iconic Nokia 3310. If you go with a Nokia 3310 to 200 years ago, the features on it are powerful features to help you manage your time. Some of those features include your calendar function, right? Alarms, right? So you don't need to look at the sun anymore, right? You don't need to look at the moon. You don't need to, just that alarm, the ability to set an alarm, set multiple alarms to say, I want to do this at this time, 1 hour's time. Your calendar, powerful tool, very, very powerful tool to say, I want to do this, remind me, plan a month at a time. Very powerful. A to-do list, just a checklist. Very, very powerful time management tool. Reminders, the birthdays of people, your wedding anniversary. Some people forget. Some men forget their own wedding anniversary. So is it May? What year? I hope that is not happening to somebody that's listening to us. But those tools, those simple technology tools are there to help you make the best use of your time and to achieve. Temitope, you're laughing. True. I remember that. I don't know. Was it? I hope it was a joke. Who wants to be a millionaire? A game show, and then they were to get to 5 million, the top figure, and then they just said, "Well, you're going to get this one." You just say, "What is your wedding anniversary?" And the lady was jumping. Yes, yes, we are going to win 5 million. And the guy just looked, and he was looking. The lady's face just changed. You are joking. You've forgotten it. You are going to go back to 100,000 because you cannot remember our wedding anniversary. Time management tools, reminders to help you with important dates that you want to do. So there are so many tools that we have around us that can help us make the best use of your time. Because see, if you use it, you don't use it, your time is going to go, right? And you are going to reap the dividend of how you use your time. It's a matter of time. Pardon the pun. You're going to reap it. And how you use your time, how you have used your time, determines the value that people are going to place on your time. Because every one of us that is working, even if you are not working, if you whatever you are doing to earn revenue, the resource that people pay for, the base resource, is that time and the value that they think they will get for the time that you give them. And that might help you to make some decisions. That helps me to make some decisions. For instance, knowing how valuable and important my time is, I say this to people, and so people laugh, and I'd rather pay a premium to get some service so that I can have some time to myself than to go and spend my time to do those things. Because I've come to see that my time is so valuable, because I look at what people pay me to have 1 hour of my time, to have a day of my time, what they pay me to, or you look at your salary, you can actually you can evaluate how much your hour of your time is worth. Let's say you are earning because this is an international program, hopefully we have an international audience. Let's assume, for instance, you are earning $1,000 every month, right? $1,000 every month. Or to make it easier for me, because mathematics is not is my strong suit to say otherwise. If you are earning $3,000 every month, you're earning $3,000, and let's assume that every month has what? 30 days on average. You know, some have 30 days as September, April, June, and November. The other has 31 days apart from, yeah. So let's just assume 30 days, and you are earning $3,000. That means every day of your time, based on your skill, based because the lowest thing you can earn is just to be earning for your time, just your physical labor, just your presence. The more skilled you are, the more value you bring to the table, the more people will pay for the time you spend with them. But let's just say $3,000. So that $3,000, that means every day that person is paying you what? Right? $100. That means your day, as far, maybe you are worth more. Don't get me wrong. I believe you are worth infinitely more. But based on what you have been able to negotiate and what you are getting from the marketplace, it means your day is worth what? $100 every day of your time. Somebody is prepared to pay you $100 for your time, and you have also accepted that that's what I want to earn. It now doesn't make sense. If you now divide it, divide a day by 24, you now get to know how much your hour is worth. So if you know that this is what I'm earning for my time, it won't make sense, for instance, now, for you, because you want to save um, how much? $2. Because you want to save $2, then you now spend 10 hours. Or maybe somebody says, oh, I can help you get this, but just give me $2 so that I can help you get it quickly. I say, no, 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 no. I will spend 10 hours to get that $2. I mean, I don't think that makes sense. So when somebody says, I'm going to queue at the pump for 12 hours, I look at it, is that worth your time? Sometimes I run some errands. I just don't know I shouldn't run this errand. It's not worth the time I want to spend running this errand. Even if I'm just sitting down and thinking and reading, is worth more. Because that reading is going to add value to me that somebody will pay for. But if I don't spend that time, that value is not going to. Are you also now worried? You are not happy about the value. Okay, you think I shouldn't be earning $3,000 every month. That means you need to spend some time to add more value so that your time is more valuable and you are able to command more uh, more revenue, more premium on your time. Time is the basic resource that we use that we convert to every other thing that you want. Every other thing we want in life, we try to buy it with time. Time. So don't waste time. Don't use your time anyhow. Before you know it, your time has gone. I just realized uh, I saw this year not too long. Wow, I'm having white hair. I'm not as young as I used to be. I remember I was teaching somewhere yesterday, and then I was telling them a story, and I said, this happened 27 years ago. It just struck me. 27. I don't feel 27. I don't feel old. But something happened to me 27 years ago, and I was not a child when it happened. No, so time is going. Time is going. You're no longer a kid. So what? And if you're still a kid, fantastic, great. You're a kid like me, great. We are both kids, but kids will not be kids forever. We'll still. Time is going. Time is going. What are you going to do with your time? How are you going to spend your time? Today, I want to introduce you to a matrix that I love. I love to use it I you know, as an epidemiologist, as a public health physician, I know the power in 2 by 2 tables. 2 by 2 tables are very, very powerful. Just just 4 cells. You can come up with a lot of associations, a lot matrices, very, very powerful tool. So today I want to discuss with us. Some of us may be already familiar with it, and it's called the Eisenhower's Matrix. It's the urgency and importance matrix to apportioning and distributing your time. Right? If you ask yourself, is for anything you want to do, any task, especially work-related tasks that you want to do, if you ask yourself, is this thing urgent or important? You can divide all tasks into 4 quadrants, right? A quadrant of things that are urgent and important, things that are urgent but not important, things that are important but are not urgent, and things that are neither important or not urgent. So let me first try to help us to differentiate between those 2 words, right? Because those 2 words, if we are not careful, they may connote, they sound similar, they seem to be synonyms, but they are not. They are actually very, very totally different concepts. Something that is urgent is something that demands and screams for attention, right? Something that says, do me now or I walk away. You have to do me immediately. You have to answer me immediately. A baby cry, like it's like a baby crying. It's like a baby screaming. If a baby starts to scream and you're the mother of that baby is saying to you, answer me immediately. If your phone is ringing, your phone will not ring forever, right? It rings for a period of time. If you don't pick, what happens? It stops ringing. That means it's urgent. It's time bound. Those of us that love football, right? If you are your favorite soccer, right? Your favorite soccer team, they are to play a match at 4 p.m. They're not going to shift that match because of you, right? They are not going to shift it. They are 4 p.m. is 4 p.m. That's urgent. Another example of something I can use to illustrate something that is urgent, something that is present, is if you are pressed. If you have to go, you have to go. There's no negotiating with, oh, maybe I'll keep him. No, no, no. If you have to go, you really, really, it doesn't matter who is around you, it doesn't matter who is talking to you. If you have to go, you really do have to go. That's urgency. On the other hand, importance speaks to weightiness, speaks to consequence. And the funny thing is that some things that have grave consequence, they may not be urgent, right? They may not be fighting for attention now. They may not be screaming for attention. They may chill and just be looking at you. One of those things, for instance, may be things that have to do, for instance, to give you a very good example, your retirement. I don't know how old you are, I don't know how young you are. One day you are going to retire. So if you are 22 and somebody is going to talk to you about retirement, you probably look at him, no, 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 I have 40 years, right? I have 52. If you are in the educational sector, and you have over 50, I just wonder, 50 years, that looks like a lot of time. And truly, it is a lot of time. But your retirement remains important, even though it's not urgent, right? Training your kids may not be urgent, right? Thinking about your kids' university, if you have a child in nursery school and you think going to college is important, not everybody has to go to college. But in this environment, we think it's important. And in fact, now it's not just a first degree. We've got to a place where second degrees, third degrees, and now at one time it was enough for you to go to secondary school. And you could make a good living, earn a decent living, rise in your career. Now, not so much so because more people have degrees. So education, your children's education, higher education may be important. I think is important, but it may not be urgent right now, right? That report that you have to write, that your boss has told you, you're going for this thing, I need you to report by the end of the month. Based on what all that is happening around you, you may think, oh, I have time. That thing is important because if you don't do it, you may get sacked. But based on the plethora of things that are fighting for your attention, you'd say this is not urgent. So, urgency and importance. Urgency and importance. So, we have 4 quadrants, like I said, the quadrants of things that are urgent and important. Some people call that quadrant the quadrant of necessity. Those are things that you must do. You just have to do them. If you don't do them, you pay the price. Because that thing is saying, do me now. You have a report you have to send tomorrow. I have people I work with who give you a task. You need to do this. You need to present this. A client is asking for this. If you don't get it done, there will be trouble because that thing, that's why we are here. That's what we are doing here, right? It's urgent and important. Somebody, you're in the hospital setup, someone goes into cardiac arrest. You don't go and buy biscuits as I'm coming. No, no, no. You need to attend to that heart immediately. You need to commence CPR immediately to resuscitate that person. Why? That is urgent and very important. But if somebody has a stick in his eye, it is important, but it's not urgent. In fact, you don't want to pull out the stick because you cause more problems than good. So urgency and importance, right? But yeah, it's still an emergency. You want to get it done, but the ophthalmologists know how they deal with that. But they won't pull it out and say, no, we need to do it. They have how they deal with that. So you need to make preparations, make sure everything is sorted, right? So things that you must do immediately. Huh? And so I want to look at your day to day. Can you just look at those things that are urgent and important and ask yourself, have you done them? Because sometimes we leave those things undone and then we get into crisis, right? Because why does that happen? We may get distracted by things that are urgent but not important. The things that are urgent but not important are actually things that we ought to delegate. There are things that we ought not to um, bother ourselves so much with. For instance, your phone may be ringing. I know people that are in church, they're in training, they are somewhere, and because they just add an alert, boom, they just add an alert, boom, they just open their phone and they check it. That alert says something has happened, check me, but that thing wasn't important. It wasn't important. It's not something you should bother and waste your time over. Yeah. And then we have things, like I said, that are neither important or urgent. That they call the quadrant of waste, right? Uh, the show on Netflix, right? Season 5, season 10, binge watching tons. You could always do that at any time. You should allocate maybe less than 5% of your time to things that are not. Yes, fun is good. So the time will come that fun will be important. You need to have fun. You need to relax. You need to go on vacation. You need to play. But ask yourself, on the scale of all that I have to do now, is this thing urgent? Is it important? If it's neither, then just leave it. Don't do it. Leave it. Leave it for when you are in a relaxed mode that you just, oh, okay, I think there are some things I just want to have fun. I want to let my head down. I want to relax. Unless if that's your job. If your job is to make memes, to make stuff, then okay, so maybe that for you now will be important. But for you, it's not important. Scrolling, endless scrolling through Snapchat is neither urgent, neither is it important. Scrolling forever through Facebook is neither for me urgent nor important, right? So you don't waste your time with that. And then you have the things that are important but are not urgent. That is the quadrant of proactivity. That's the quadrant of planning. That's the quadrant of preparation. Because you know the funny thing, if something is important but not urgent, given enough time, that thing is going to flip to the other quadrant. Because the importance will not diminish with time. It may rather even increase with time. But as time goes, that thing now becomes urgent. And then you'll be in crisis. Let's manage our time effectively. Use your time well. Ask yourself, this thing is important. Is it urgent? Should I give it my time? Eh, These things that are shouting for my time. Some people waste their time with meetings and meetings upon meetings. They do meetings to plan meetings. No. And then plan meetings with meetings, and then review the meetings with meetings, and just spend time, all kinds of meetings, doing things that are not important, things that do not add to the bottom line, things that do not advance their lives and put them in a better place. So ask yourself, is this thing important? Is it urgent? How does it feel? What should I do? Please use your time well. Pick and use your time well. Plan your time well. If you plan your time well, you will not be late for events because you will plan it. You plan for contingencies. Yeah, I see. Um, I went for a meeting somewhere in the part of Lagos. That part of Lagos is now it's a place you don't really get to. You don't get to go there. But this, I had a speaking engagement there. I said, okay, you need to be here by 10 a.m. So I just looked at it. This thing, I don't want to get late for any engagement. So you put a buffer in. And I got there before the people that invite them. And the guy said, are you a British person? I said, no. I just like to try to keep to time. I don't succeed all the time. But I think part of the things you can use to show people that you honor and you respect them is to respect their time, to keep to time. You invite me to come speak, give me 45 minutes, I'll keep to 45 minutes. I'll keep to 30 minutes. If you give me 15 minutes, I'll keep to 15 minutes. Because that's just respect that's for me, that's one of the highest ways you can respect somebody. Keep to time. Don't waste their time. Keep to time. Don't waste my time. Because if you waste my time, you're wasting my life. Because my time is my life. Right? So let's use our time effectively. Okay, so do we have any question, comments, contributions? This is now the time for us to ask. It's time to contribute. You can just drop it in the chat box there. A big thank you to everyone that joined us today. OBG, Rice, thank you. Temi Tokwe, thank you. Our normal crew, and I say, okay, we have some likes there, right? If you are here, if you have followed live, please come into the chat box. Let's have a little bit of conversations to and fro. Let's hear from ourselves and just share. Let's hear from you. We have questions, we have comments. I'd like to hear from us. Okay, great. Okay, in the absence of any contribution, any comment, a big thanks to everyone that's joined in for this session. I appreciate you, celebrate you. Thank you, May. Thank you. Thank you. Please just remember to share this on our timelines, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on your WhatsApp status, and let's just get more people to my. If somebody has been wasting your time and you want to give the person a proverb, let's just share. We will all be better. We'll all be better individuals if we learn to manage our time. Thank you, Julian. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of us. Until I come again next week, Friday, by the grace of God, stay inspired, stay healthy. And like Area used to say, we can remember and say, life will, get duplicate. God bless you.